Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. I go by Microbiologist Makes here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram. This is my Flosstube channel where I talk about my crafting life related to cross stitch, knitting, crochet, as well as thrifting. And this is episode number 18. I have had a busy last month. I think I last filmed beginning of June. Today is July 27th, it's Saturday, and I haven't picked up a lot of projects between that time as far as stitching goes, but I did get some good progress on what I did choose to work on. I'll have an exciting finish to share if the thumbnail is any indication. But I'd like to begin by thanking Bonnie Claire of Stitched Lit for mentioning me in her last YouTube video. She has a Flosstube channel and it looks awesome. I watched that video and I'm excited to go back and look through her backlog of videos. So it has some really exciting projects to share, and she said some very nice things about me, which I wholeheartedly appreciate. And I'm very excited to be a subscriber of your channel now. So go check out Stitched Lit. I'll have her linked, mentioned in the description box below. Yeah, let's just jump into the finishes, shall we? There's only one, but it's exciting. I do also have a, Lori Holt has a tutorial for a, what is this called? Design board. I made a scaled up version using that tutorial. So I have this to use now. It's like I'm almost a professional, but not quite because I didn't iron this finish and I don't have the clips to attach this to the board. So we're taking baby steps here. But I have a finish of A Study in Nature by the Artsy Housewife. Yeah, I can already tell this is going to be a problem. This is stitched on 36 count pearwood. I started it for my birthday this year, so April 6th, and she's done. I was monogamous on this pretty much over the last month. I picked it up again like in May and was really heavily focused on it, but pretty much only touched this in June. And I only had like 10 stitching days in June, so it was good. I love this project so much. I stitched this with all of the called for silks by Dinky Dyes, which are awesome. I know Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher is stitching this with the Vicky Clayton silk conversion, and that is also gorgeous, so you really can't go wrong here. This is just a beautiful, beautiful design, and I'm excited to also stitch A Study in Pink. I know a lot of people are stitching that as well, and I think they would look great together on a wall. Ugh, I'm just so happy with this. So it obviously needs to be ironed. I have a frame that is from my vintage frame collection. It's a big, chunky, like white distressed frame. And I had originally thought I'd go with a white frame, but then I had a gold frame in my stash that was too small. But I was just holding it up and it looked really good. So now I'm not sure if I want to go with this white frame or if I want a gold frame. I don't know. So I'll think about that a little more. It's a little bit bigger than an 8x10. So I think, what is that, 11x14 frame would look good with good margins. That's the size of the white frame I have pretty much. So I did some scouting around just like Home Goods today because my local thrift store doesn't have a big frame section here. I usually have to outsource to antique stores, which are farther away, and can be pretty hit or miss, but I might just go with that frame. I have this collection of frames. It's like the biggest problem is you have this collection of frames, but then you don't want to use them because you're like, is this the perfect choice? Could I do better? I don't know. That seems to be my hang up. So I don't know. I should just use what I have, but it is a really pretty frame. I'm not settling or anything, but I'm always on the hunt for what could be a little bit better. So that's a big flaw of mine. So yeah, we'll get that framed up, I think, and pretty soon, and I'll have that to share next time. So, and I'll be posting it on Instagram as soon as it's framed, I'm sure. But yep, that was all I had for finishes. I have, I think, 4 whips, and that's counting a new start, I believe. So we'll dive right into that as well. Maybe we'll go in like order of what I got the most work on. Oh my gosh, I have like a pile here of things I have to dig through. I pulled out, I think I just got like an hour or 2 progress on this towards the end of June. This is a summer kaleidoscope by Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm stitching this on 56 count, and I started it a couple years ago, I think. It's just slow going, I don't know. I'm doing this with a Swasserfine silk. It's like a coral. The color number is 2655. And this is just like a cream or mocha or something, 56 count. It's not hand dyed. So I have the upper corner going. I think I'm at like, ugh, I shouldn't even guess. I think I'm pretty close to like 5% or something on it. It's pretty dense. So yeah, and 56 count isn't too hard, but it's not like I can do it anywhere. Like I have to make sure I have good light. And I don't stitch with magnifiers, or I don't have glasses yet, so I probably should have glasses, but yeah, it's just slow. I don't know. I really love this project though. At one point in time, I would have said I was going to also do the winter kaleidoscope. I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but it is fun to stitch, and I think the stitches look really dainty on 56 count. It's not something that I'm drawn to, I guess, at the moment, but it's a fun project, and hopefully it will be done someday. I don't know. The other project I worked on, I brought this. I went to a conference, a research conference in June. Gosh. And I was presenting, so I had maybe I'll put in a picture of me at my poster. And this was in Atlanta. Didn't get to see much of the city. I did go to the aquarium, which I'll have probably in my little video montage at the beginning, because they had beluga whales. They were so cute. I need Lindy's stitches to design beluga whale. I feel like she specifically would be really good at that. That needs to happen, Steph, so if you're watching. Petition for a beluga whale pattern. Anyway, way off track. This was the project I brought along when I was traveling. I only stitched like one night in the hotel, but I brought Harvest Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. I've stitched a few of these now. The Patriotic Tiny Town, Big Hearted Tiny Town. I have the Christmas and the Blooming Tiny Town. This one, it's been a slog. I don't know. I started it in October of 2023, also in a hotel room. This is like the hotel project, I guess. And I've just been going like really slowly on it. I don't know. It's not something, not to be a downer, I guess. I'm being so dramatic here, but like it's not something I really want to work on that bad right now. And it has nothing to do with like it being fall and I'm not wanting to stitch out of season. I just don't want to stitch it for some reason. They're really cute. I love this series. I want to do, I also have Spooky Tiny Town, which is on the back here. That's why I thought of it. But yeah, it calls for a lot of different threads. Classic Color Works, Weeks Dye Works. I just pulled a bunch of different random, I had some of the Classic Color Works. I just color matched as best as I could to the DMC and used some color and cottons and whatever. So I don't know. I got this last house done in June, but so we're not even 50% and I'm over it, but we'll keep going. Maybe I can make this like my 30 minutes a day project, although there's been quite a few days when I haven't stitched so far, so in June and July, so I'd be really behind really fast. That just seems like it'd be setting myself up. But anyway, that's been my pathetic progress whips. The next was when I started, actually, no. The other one that I didn't get a whole lot of progress on was a start for Marjorie of Marjorie's Made, her Strawberry Moon Cell. In June, I started Strawberry Birds by The Blue Flower, and I had gotten a bunch of the vines done, and in here in the month of July, just like in the last week or so, I added, I almost completely finished the vines. I think I'm at like 30% on this now, and I started adding in the strawberries. This is on 40 count Fox and Rabbit flannel flower. Wow. I was inspired by Cross Stitch Kate, who is using the same fabric for this piece, and I thought it's so pretty, and I had this in my stash, so used that. Shameless copy. And I'm using all the called for threads, and this one's really fun. I can't wait to get to the birds. I don't know why I completed most of the vines. There's like a few vines up here, but I didn't want to count that far over. I don't know why I completed the vines first. It's just like I got going and I couldn't stop. I don't know. But now I'm getting to add in some strawberries, and I can't wait to get to the birds, the cedar waxwings, so that'll be fun. I don't think I mentioned for the Tiny Town, I'm stitching that on a 28 count even weave that I dyed myself with Rit dye. And yeah, okay. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. Then my last whip, which also, I guess, a new start, but I had talked about it. It was a planned new start. In my last video, I got Caroline's birthday box from Evertote. It's a collaboration with Artsy Housewife and Evertote and Roxy Floss. And I got a start on that on July 6th unofficially. The sale started on July 7th. I couldn't wait. I started the night before. And I've been working on this pretty much monogamously ever since. I picked up Strawberry Bird like one night, and I picked up the Tiny Town one night. It's mostly been going on this. So here's my progress. I got going on the border again. I don't know what it is. Like usually I skip around more, but I've been hyper focused on different parts, and then I'm like forcing myself to finish them, even though like I could have gone over to the moth, which I'm now saving for the end. I don't know. My typical cross stitch habits have been out the window this time. I don't know. I'm just doing what feels right, I guess. This is on 40 count Buttercup by Roxy Floss, and I'm using all the called for Roxy Floss threads. And I guess I can show you a picture of what it will look like at the end. This needle minder is everything. I've heard so many people say that they just got the box mostly because of the needle minder. Because you can get this pattern from Gigi in her Etsy shop, I believe. You can get it, yeah, for sure there. But yeah, I've been working on that flower, which is really fun. I just have a little bit to fill in, and then I have to do the big leaves. And then there's another flower here, just the border at the bottom, and the moth, which I'm saving for the end. You'd think I'd be tired of stitching like wings of butterflies / moths after I study nature, but no, it's like become my new favorite thing to stitch. Like I know everybody has sort of like their favorite motif, like houses, or I don't know, some people might like borders. I like insect wings apparently. So there's that. And that's all my stitching, honestly. I will stick with crafting related or cross stitch related items in case you're not interested in knitting and crochet. But I have some exciting haul this time around. So some of this is from, I've actually visited 2 needlework stores within the last, in Iowa. So I went to the Backstitch in Decatur, Iowa, and I've been to Prairie Rose Needleworks in Ames. And I picked up a few things. Oh, and also, how can I forget? I went to Spring Green, Wisconsin, and I got to go to Country Sampler, which was amazing. It was my first time there, so that was a lot of fun. From there, I got Needle Bling 40 count broomgrass. I'll take it out of the plastic. It's really pretty. Ooh, it looks green in the picture. Or the camera, but it is brown. It looks green. Maybe because I have a lot of green going on, but it's brown. It's really mottled and pretty, and I've never used Needle Bling fabrics before, so I'm excited to stitch something on that. Let's see. Then that was, oh, I got this trim from Country Sampler as well. This is by, I'm not sure. It just says the price, doesn't have a name. But I got this ribbon. And then from the back stitch, I picked up In Nature by Blueberry Ridge Designs. I love those colors. No immediate plans to start. I did get some of the threads because they're cool classic colorworks, colors that I've never stitched with before. Let's see. Well, Old Purple Paint is Gentle Arts, but then there's like Rip Your Float. That's fun. Brown Hen. Ooh, and then this one, Cinders by Gentle Arts. So I got some of those. There's a list on the back of maybe like, I don't know, quite a few more than what I picked up, but I think I can swap those out for Color and Cottons and maybe start that soon. I'm not sure. And then I got Pollinator's Garden, which I've loved ever since it came out, but I finally got it. I think I would stitch it like that, a long skinny pillow. So that was my cross stitch store haul. Then I went to an amazing estate sale last weekend, and this person was a cross stitcher. They had a whole room of like just cross stitch stuff basically. Mystic stitches, like printed out full coverage patterns. They had a ton of dimensions kits as well. Some were, I know, out of print, and then lots that were currently in print. This is, I restrained myself, didn't get too much, left some for others. There's so much, like, I can't imagine they could have possibly sold it all. But I got this fully kitted Mirabilia, well, without the fabric. This is not out of print, I looked it up. I don't know much about Mirabilias, but this is Athena, Goddess of Wisdom. And it comes with a bead pack. So I think I can use a lot of these for, if I don't stitch them myself, for giveaways on the channel, so that's exciting. This was $2, okay, for all 4 of these shirts. These are the Lavender and Lace Celtic Ladies. So we have the price stickers above them. So winter, summer, spring. Is the winter in here twice? I know. That was autumn. The first one I showed you was autumn, not winter. And this is winter. That was $2. Like 50 cents a piece. So yeah, giveaways will be forthcoming. We also have, I picked up the Cricut Collection Winter, which is really cute. Probably do this as a giveaway. And this one, I will stitch myself. This was a Thea Gouverneur kit, and I know Seattle Stitcher Megan is a big fan of Thea's kits. So what I saw, this is called Herb Panel. And this is like just a card free floating in here, but isn't that pretty? I love it on the dark fabric. I don't know if I want to do that to myself. And this is a full kit, and it was $6. I opened it, for the record, it wasn't open before. And I think I'm gonna start this relatively soon. I'd like to finish more things before I do, so maybe after I get Weeds and Wildflowers finished, I'll start this. But I have a fabric picked out from my stash, and it's on 36 count. You're supposed to use 2 threads. I think it'd be too small on 40 count with all the back stitch. It's pretty back stitch heavy. So I'm gonna stick to a 36 count. I already ripped out the 18 count Ada, I believe. It's not in here, so I think I threw that away already. It's not really stiff stuff, but I grabbed, this is Boston by Seraphim. It's like a pale greeny tan blue. The modeling isn't really coming across in this light, but I think that'll be really pretty. And I'm gonna use 2 threads just so you get the vibrancy of those colors. And it's gonna be really fun, I think. I'm excited to start that. If I can get myself to start something, I don't know. I'm weird like that sometimes. the apprehension of starting gets me. But once it's started, it's like, oh, that's fun, but I don't know. That is all of my haul. In terms of knitting and crochet, we'll get into that now. So if you're not interested in that, you can either jump forward. I'll probably talk about thrifting and other things at the end. I'll have timestamps if you want to jump ahead. But for knitting, I have quite a few projects I worked on, actually. So I was really close to finishing. This is my sock project bag, my pair of socks by Northwoods Knit Co. I have one sock almost completely done. I just have to Kitchener the toe. And it has a colorwork pattern on the cuff. There were supposed to be bobble stitches on the top of the foot, but I left those off. Yeah, I just literally have to Kitchener the toe. And I'm done, but haven't gotten to that point, I guess. I don't know. I have big feet also. So, it's a large sock. Yeah, got that one done and then almost done. And then I'm on the foot of the second. I could probably finish this tonight if I set my mind to it. Like I only have maybe an inch left of the toe or the foot, and then the toe decreases and the dreaded Kitchener stitch for the toe, and we're done. I really like colorwork socks. I think I'm going to start another one as soon as I'm done with this, with some yarn I got that I'll show. So, yeah, that should be done soon, hopefully. And then I have another project I started since I last saw you. This is by Cassie LaFollete, and it's the Houseplant Shawl. It's a really fun garter stitch shawl with an I-cord edge, and there's like a lace leaf edge, scalloped edge on the other side. I'm stitching this, or knitting this in Malabrigo Rios yarn in the color Yerba, I believe, Y-E-R-B-A. Don't know how to pronounce that. But she's getting long. So I'm almost at the halfway point for as wide as it will be. It's a shawlette more like, but it's really pretty. I love the leaves and they'll look even better after blocking. But yeah, it's really fun. It goes really fast. I really like this pattern and it's very clear, and it would be a great beginner pattern if you're interested in doing a little bit of lace too. All you really need to do is know how to yarn over, knit two together, slip, slip, knit. Be a great beginner lace pattern. So that one has been fun as well. Those are my knitting whips. I also have knitting finishes. Like, we're just off the rails today. I don't have an order or a reason or anything. This is the Montana Mountain Cowl by Andrea Mowry. I started this last October. And it is in a fingering weight, and it's mosaic knitting, which is really easy. You're just working with one color at a time and slipping the other color. So it's really fun. I did the pressed flower shawl last winter, and that's also mosaic knitting. So I just found that really fun. So quickly cast on this cowl. I knit this in Malabrigo sock. Geppetto is the pink color, and the brown is chocolate amargo. And it's a Mobius cowl, so you do a twist before you garter or Kitchener stitch it together. And it's fingering weight, so it did take a while to knit, but it's more like, not necessarily for warmth, it's just for looking cute, I think. But I like it. And I would do it again. I don't know. It was fun. I did a lot of this in the airport. It was funny. My coworkers who were traveling with me discovered I knitted. But when I pulled that out. So yeah, that was fun to explain what it was. Nobody knew what a cowl was. I mean, the guys, so par for the course. But yeah, that was fun. And then the other knitting finish I had was a big one. I've been talking about this since February. This is the Chessie sweater by Donna Estin. And it's done. I'll have to put in a video of me wearing it. 'Cause I'm sitting on the floor and you can't see all the cool details, but there's a cable detail around the cuffs, and then the hem as well. This is in Cascade 220 non-superwash merino in the color Iridescence. It smells really good after I blocked it. I've been keeping it in my, like, it's not cedar, but it's a wood chest, like dresser situation, and I have like those, what are they called? Little scent packets in there to keep everything, like the musty scents out, so it smells like amazing right now. But it's so cozy and it's oversized, and I'm really excited to wear this fall. I brought this to a knitting group, and everyone was like, oh, just in time for July, but I like stitching in the season. I find that I like knitting in preparation for the coming seasons. So like if I do all my winter knitting now, I have them for winter. Like that, I don't know, makes more sense for me for knitting. And then my last yarn whip is crochet, actually. I've shared this before a couple times. This is the Bliss Afghan. I am using just acrylic yarn. I actually had to go get my last skein. I have to do one more square and then the border and the sewing all of it together in Karen 1 pound. Not my favorite yarn to work with, but it's good for blankets, machine washable. Has a kind of funky texture after you've been working with wool and nicer yarn, but it's good, gets the job done. This is in the color white. I think it's white, or yeah, just white. So hopefully I don't have to go back and buy another skein of this. It's like the never-ending cycle of you almost finish a project, but then you have to go get more yarn for it, and then you're left with more yarn, scrap yarn. I need to make a scrap blanket here soon. But you needed 12 of these blocks. I'm at, I think I'm on my 11th? Yeah, I finished my 10th the other night and just started working on the 11th. So this is what the blocks look like. Believe me when I say I have 10 of them. I was like powering through this. I just want it done. It's a whip that I've had going for a while, and I feel like I have lots of crochet whips that have just been lingering for too long now that I've gotten more into knitting. But yeah, this is where I left off with the other one. So after this one, I'll only have one more to do. I was watching my comfort movie last night, and which is embarrassing. My comfort movie is Jaws, okay? What I need to do is stitch the Great White Christmas pattern by Boomerang Stitches. That's what I really need to do. But anyway, I was watching Jaws, my comfort movie, and I messed up on all those treble crochets and the number. It's like you really have to count in these inner rounds. But I was focused on Jaws, so yeah, I just then have to whip stitch all these together and add the border. I'm not sure if I want to block these because they're kind of like, they start out as a circle and then they become squares. So they're kind of wonky. I probably should block them. I find that blocking acrylic yarn, or just like crochet in general, is not as effective as knitting and blocking wool. So we'll see if that happens, TBD. Yarn haul. So there was a yarn store that was, so the lady was retiring and selling her store contents and the store itself, actually. So I picked up some fingering weight yarn to make more socks. This is Malabrigo. I'll just flash the colors here. This one's cool. It's called, this is by Leading Men's Fiber Arts in the colorway River Rock. I love that color. This one's cool. And then this was some merino, or not merino, mohair. Lace weight. So I'm gonna hold this double with something else, maybe make a vest. I think that'd be cool. And then this was from my local yarn store, but this is gonna be for my next pair of colorwork socks, I think. There's a couple of patterns that have been catching my eye, so I think that's what I'm gonna go with for the next one. We'll see. For thrifting, I've been to a couple antique malls. My most exciting find, though, this is Microscope. Okay, I dated this a little bit with the brass, and then there's a manufacturer name, I forget where it is, somewhere. But I dated this to, I think, 1915. So that's really cool. And it's been my prop, so up in my wicker shelf here. So in the background, isn't that cool? I'm really happy with it. I've always looked for microscopes, but they're always like in the hundreds at antique stores. And I'm like, why? Because that is not going to work. Like, it's not going to be functional anymore. So, I mean, heaven knows, like, just the microscope in our lab, if like you don't clean it regularly, the lens gets all messed up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about that. This isn't an antique either, but this is at Michael's, and it's in the Halloween section, and it's like a little Erlenmeyer flask. I'm gonna use this to propagate plants. I was excited about that too. I saw these when the Halloween section wasn't on sale. I was like, oh, I'll be coming back for you. So once it hit 40% off, they also have like a round bottom and a beaker one too. So if you're into sciencey things, head on over to Michael's. That's my pro tip. Yeah, that's all I have to talk about. My phone storage has alerted me several times that it's too full, and I don't want to delete all the Georgia aquarium videos that I took because I love looking back at them. The shark exhibit was incredible. So yeah, I really wanted this one whale shark sweatshirt. Had a little embroidered whale shark up in the corner. But it was like aquarium prices, so I didn't get it. But yeah, when you were walking through that one tank with a whale shark in it, I didn't even know they had a whale shark. I was just like, you go through this tunnel, and all of a sudden it got really dark, and I was like, man, is there a skylight in here? Like, did a cloud just go over? And you look up, and all you see is the underside of this whale shark. That thing was like massive. I was very impressed. So that was pretty much the highlight of the conference, was going to the aquarium. It was a massive conference, so I was a little overwhelmed, but it was fun. Yeah, and I think things will be slowing down for me in the next month, so hopefully I can stay on track with filming at the end of every month. So I should be back at the end of August. Until then, I hope to catch up with all the floss tubes that I've gotten miserably behind on. And yeah, hopefully being more connected on Instagram. So follow me there if you don't already, and I hope everyone has a great month, or however long it is until I see you again. Take care and keep stitching.